Dragonkeepers, our thoughts after several two-player games. Fenny Rob over here, Fenny Mom over there. What do you think?
I lost it 2 times in a row and I still wanted to play it one more time.
All right, so generally you liked it.
Yeah, because it has, look at those cute dragons.
Yes, the dragons are very cute. I'll give you that. The artwork is very nice on the cards. The iconography makes sense as soon as you start playing. Trying to explain it is slightly difficult, but I think once you see 1 or 2 turns, it's easy to teach. The rules are very simple. You're basically drawing up to 3 cards, and then you're replacing them as you go with these. You get to manipulate these 2 books. This is going to tell you how many of what kind of dragon you can play on your turn and what your rewards will be. I think the game plays about 30 to 40 minutes as a 2-player game. I could see with more players, I think you might have a little bit more AP going on because you can't really decide what you're going to do on your turn until after everybody's gone. So you can have the best laid plans and it doesn't really matter in this game. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I think it's mostly a tactical game. Very little strategy per se. You're going for certain things. You have some strategy in maybe delaying so that you don't have to take the lowest available amulet, because these range from 1 up to 20. So you may not want to take the lowest one because that might be the last 4 in the stack, and then you can upgrade to a 6. I'm not sure that it actually helps. In the one game that I tried to time it like that, it did not work out for me. I think it actually wastes too many turns, and I'm thinking that holding out for the long, big play is fine, but where you get to play, 5 or 6 cards of something. But at the same time, if the other player is taking the amulets, you're falling behind, because the first 3 give you 8, 8, and 9 points, and then after that it's 3 and 4 points. And if you play any of these cards with the crowns on them, you're starting to pull these 20s off the top. It starts to add up quickly, and the game starts to spiral out of control for the person who's behind. And I say that it's not like it's a runaway game. I think the biggest point spread we had, which was like maybe 15 points.
No,
like
I think
20.
The first game we played was at least 20-point difference, maybe more than that.
Okay. It didn't feel like a blowout really to me until we counted
Says
up
the winner.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but also that game we did not play with one of these extra things. I don't think I would ever play it without one of these extra things. And we played it with an extra thing twice, but we randomly chose and ended up playing with the same token 2 times. So I would be very interested to see how it plays with these other modifiers. I think it's I feel like it's much better with the modifiers in there.
Right. I agree. It's more of a game that way. In fact, even the one we played with, which was basically that you can play into a stack that's already been enclosed, which in this game, there's 4 different colors, and you're going to keep playing into the same stack of the dragon. Every time you play white, you're going to play it into the same stack. But if you ever have a situation where you have 3 of them next to each other, like if I'm like that, I'm okay. But as soon as you add another color, either you put it there or you put it there, the one that's in the middle, you no longer can play into for the rest of the game. This lets you modify that by paying one of these crystals, and you get the crystals as you play as the reward sometimes. The basic game that they tell you to play when you're playing with children says to play without the penalty of being blocked in. But what this does is it lets you play, but you have to have the crystals. And there were several times where I wish I could have played to an illegal stack, but I couldn't because I didn't have the crystals. So right. I think that mitigates the making it too easy.
Yeah.
It makes it less frustrating, I guess, in a way, and it makes the game go faster, I think.
It definitely makes the game go faster, because we didn't play with it the first time. That game took a lot longer, and it's not just because it was the first time we played, because it's not that difficult of a game. As soon as you start playing it, you understand what you're trying to do. But this wasn't in there, and so I got very hung up on not putting all the colors out because I was scared I wasn't going to be able to play them anymore, and that was extremely frustrating. So having that out there changes the way the game is for me, because I get to like, I can't cover up the white dragons. Like I never play them again.
Well, I like that they give you the option of playing with that rule or without that rule if you want to pay the token, or you can just do away with it if you like. You can play with just one of these per game, or you can have all of them out there. I wouldn't go with any more than a couple, I don't think, for per game. It does mix up the rules a little bit, like you get to take the top 2 cards off of that at the beginning of your turn. This number is 1 less, so if you had 4 on there, it's only 3 of a dragon or something like that if you pay a crystal.
Right.
So, it does make some cool things to it. Overall, though, the game to me is really simple. There's no deep strategy here. To me, this is a game that I would pull out at a convention if this was in the library, because I think the theme, it could be anything, but the artwork kind of does make it feel a little bit that fantasy kind of thing. In fact, when we were playing the game, we had a dragon sitting by the fire on our television set. So, I think it's immersive enough theme-wise compared to the amount of time and effort that you're putting into the game.
Yes.
So to me, this is one that I would play at a convention, or if we had people coming over and we were gonna, play a few games, this would be one that would fit into a 2 or 3 game for the night or something before we went out to dinner. But I don't think I would be going, man, I'm really jonesing to play this particular game for a game night. I think this would have to be in addition to something else.
Yeah.
And it's not because the game is not designed well, not at all. I think it's a good design. It's just, for me, I want a little bit more meat for most of the time. And there are other lighter games that I might choose. Although if I wanted the theme of dragons, this one definitely would fit into something I would enjoy playing.
I agree if people were coming over, but I do think it plays very nicely with just 2 people. And since we don't have kids at our house anymore, and it's just 2 of us on a Tuesday night, and we're tired of watching TV, this is a fun one that doesn't require a whole lot of space. We can put it on the card table, and it doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's easy to play, and it's satisfying.
It doesn't take up much space either. It's a pretty small box. And personally, if I know she likes the game, it's going to stay in our collection, because I'd rather do this than watch TV most of the time. So again, taste-wise, it's just a little bit lighter than games I enjoy playing most of the time.
Yes, it's definitely on the light side, but I think it's fun. Like I said, I don't like playing games that I'm not very good at, but I lost 2 times in a row, and I wanted to play one more time.
Trust me, she definitely is a sore loser, but she's beautiful. Well, I mean, that ought to give you an idea. I'll put a link up here to our playthrough that we recorded so you can see how it works. There's other videos out there that can show you how to play the game, but those were our thoughts after several plays at 2 players. So thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. What were we talking about?
I can't remember.